Rukayyah has been tracking this report. She joins us now for further information on what's going on. And also in this conversation, we have a security analyst, Darlington Umoru, to help also speak on this development in Katsina State. It's not new. Rukayyah, I mean, your phrase there, a forgotten people, people that cannot live in peace. They are scared to go home. They can't be with their families, deaths everywhere. What more can you tell us about the situation in Katsina?
The situation in Kwantamawa, that is the village I visited. When I reached the village, I mean, the atmosphere was tense. You know, these people are tired of the life they are living, because they are living in constant fear of these bandits. I was still in the village when a boy ran to us and told us that the bandits are coming. A woman was explaining things to me, and she said, we are tired. For us to be living this life, it's better for them to kill us all, because we have been complaining to the government and nothing was done. She said, we don't want to go out and protest. You know, as Muslim women, you know the law, they will say, don't go and protest, just stay at home. But for you to see a woman with her children going out to protest, then that means the situation in that town, you can't just exclude it.
Talk to us about your assessment of security presence in the affected localities and what the people, I mean, we saw that you spoke to one of the vigilantes who also seems exasperated with what's going on. What more can you tell us about the security presence?
Okay, when it comes to security presence, I can say I didn't see any. There were no police vehicles, there were no military vehicles, nothing. But they tried. The villagers tried to protect themselves. But one of the challenges they are facing is they don't have the arms to fight. So if they don't have the arms to fight, then how do you expect them to go and fight those people? These bandits are armed. They are well armed. In fact, one of them was telling me, he said, we kept going out to fight because we can't keep sitting while they are killing us and disrupting our livelihood. He said, we have to go and fight, but the problem is we can't go and fight because we don't have arms. He said, if the government can supply us with arms, he said, I myself can go out and fight those bandits because we know where they are hiding.
All right, we'll have to leave it there with you. Thank you so much for the coverage. And please, as always, I urge to stay safe when you go to those areas. Thanks again for speaking with us. Let's go now to our guest, Darlington. I mean, you heard my colleague talk about limited security presence, suspicion, people living on edge. This is not the first time, you know, we're talking about the security situation in that community. What worries you the most about this continuous attack on the people who just want to live their lives?
Well, it's an unfortunate situation they are going through, where people cannot sleep and close their eyes or even remain in their various communities. Agriculture is affected, health will be affected, and life generally is threatened. I remember, or I recall, some time ago, the Katsina State government, or Katsina State people had some agreement with some of the bandit groups where they got into conclusion to say that, okay, for this and this to be achieved, we will not want you guys to hit these communities anymore. And that worked in that local government for some time. Katsina has been one of the red zones, you know, in terms of banditry in Nigeria, particularly the Northwest. Katsina, Zamfara, and Kaduna. I really have been there myself, these 3 states. I've been there to see some of those things. But unfortunately, I thought by now the military architecture would have had areas where focus is more on, particularly sold those areas as red zones. It's unfortunate that what the people are passing through now is what they are going through. It is what it is. But I think the military and the state are watching. The state government is taking records and they are aware. I think all of this, there should be a cooperation between the states and the military
Talking about the state's efforts quickly, I mean, the governor has said he will not provide amnesty for bandits, and this is not the first time that these villagers are expressing frustration. Why is it so hard for us to find a pathway out of this crisis? I mean, there are some states that are giving amnesty to bandits, some of them reintegrating them to help as vigilantes. That doesn't seem to be working.
I did say earlier on, if the governor says they're not providing amnesty, then how come they reached an agreement in some local government with the bandits earlier on, before now, and then that brought about peace to those local governments? The people themselves cannot do it. I heard somebody demanding for us. It's not enough to give you firearms. If you have the requisite training to handle firearms, it's not just that you think we need firearms. Do you have the training to handle it? Does the Constitution permit it? These are some of the challenges. You know, the amnesty, we saw the former governor of Zamfara State gave amnesty to some of these bandits at a point in time just to attract people to Zamfara State. What happened at the end of the day? That truce broke. At the end of the day, it didn't work because the bandits had to return to the forest and continue with that dangerous activities of theirs. I think a lasting solution should be like the type they had, you know, with in some local government with these bandits at the point in, I think that was last year, where they both agreed and then they met each other's condition, and for a very long time, those people did things. If they can adopt that situation, meet with some of the bandit groups, and then speak with them, that is the non-kinetic approach. You see, there's one thing we cannot defend in Nigeria at this point in time.
Okay. I'm sorry, we're time pressed. I keep interjecting. But in the immediate time, right now, what real hope is left for these communities? Because even from the reports that my colleague put up, the resort to self-help isn't easy, and it doesn't seem to be, you know, bringing the required results.
It absolutely cannot bring the required result because the Constitution does not provide for the people to bear arms, particularly the civilians, and it's even a crime for the non-state actors to bear firearms, talk more of the civilians. So if the Constitution does not permit that, and it cannot be an immediate solution at this point in time at all. Now, if the people, the people are suffering what they are suffering at this time, it is for the state governor to meet with the federal government or the temporarily or not a temporary the state. I thought the military should have been aware that these areas are areas mostly affected by bandits, or mostly affected by bandits. If that is the situation, there has to be a permanent solution. That permanent solution should be that the military presence should be in these areas for as much as possible to ensuring that these persons are protected. Now, there will be hunger, there will be famine, and don't forget that Katsina, Zamfara, and Kaduna are some of those states that also produce large quantity of food.
Right.
If they cannot go to farm, if they are even running away from their homes, then it's a bigger problem, which the government must attend to, which the military must attend to. The military has to have permanent bases in these places to ensure that these people are protected. Or rather, if not, let the state governor and his people repeat the same measure they had sometime last year that brought about peace, that took away the bandits from their land.
Well, I mean, we keep hoping for the best, and that's why we have conversations like this for some perspective. Thank you so much for your time.